So, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is like my fourth video. I do these videos and sometimes I don't even post them. I'll just, leave them on my phone. Sometimes I'll download them onto my YouTube page and put it as like private so nobody can see it. Like, I've always had this dream to be able to inspire and encourage and uplift people through my own experiences with God and because these experiences that I have really add to my life, and I get so excited about them. And I think, man, maybe this can help somebody else too, and I've just always had this dream since I was little to speak in front of a lot of people about God, and obviously that desire has evolved and changed as I've grown up, because obviously back then it was like, oh, I was gonna be in general conference and be speaking to all these people, and I just obviously that's not going to happen anymore. For those who don't know, general conference is like this Mormon meeting for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and leaders of the church will speak to all the members of the church and encourage and inspire them to live holier lives, or to believe in Jesus Christ and to be happy, right? Well, I just have had this desire inside of me for as long as I can remember. And, it's funny because, and I started listening to Joel Osteen like a couple of years ago, and he got me through some of the hardest times in my life. Like, he is so positive and uplifting and encouraging, and helps you see things and think things in a different way, like in a more positive way that gives you strength, and the strength to move on, right, and to keep going and to persevere. I was just so inspired by him. I was like, wow, like, how talented is he? I want to be like that guy, right? Like, he uses the scriptures and he just simplifies everything, and he helps so many people. Like, how blessed is he? How much good karma is he getting, from sending out these uplifting messages to the whole world? And I think about like the trans and the gay community that I'm a part of, and just like I think about like maybe I can like be that person. I always think like there's not really a place for me in the religious realm, the world. That's what I was trying to say at the same time as I was saying realm. So it came out wacky, but like it's kind of sad, and I thought, man, maybe I can be like Joel Osteen and try to be like him and mimic him, and you realize that you can't really be anybody else. You just have to be yourself. Like, my messages aren't going to be perfect like Joel Osteen, right? Or like the people in the general conference who read off the screen in front of them what they wrote and what they're supposed to say. But it's funny because this is my dream, and I don't think I've told anybody that, that really, like, besides a few of my partners that I've been with. Desiree knows this, that I want to love to be a preacher, some sort of inspirational speaker, right? And now it's out there. That really is my dream, and no matter how crazy it sounds, like, that is something that I've always wished for. And I think, like, all of us, like, and I'm not alone. I know that I'm not alone, that you have this dream inside of you that maybe you've never told anyone. And really, I think I've told some people that, like, less than 5 people in my whole life. My whole 32 years that I've been here on earth, less than 5 people. Because I've been so timid and afraid and self-conscious about that dream, right? Because it's a little out there. And yeah, so now that that's out there, just think about your dream. Like, what talent are you hiding, or you think is insignificant? I say that like I know what I'm talking about, but the only reason I know what I'm talking about is because I had this experience at work while I was on the haul truck, and I was training somebody that day. And during one of our conversations, I said something like, man, if I could sing I would sing all day, every day. Nobody could shut me up. Like, I wish I could sing, you know? Like, what a beautiful gift that is to be able to inspire people through, like, a beautiful voice. Like, what a beautiful gift. I'm so jealous of people that can sing, right? If only I could sing. God gave me the wrong gift, right? And people wouldn't be able to get me to shut up if I could sing. I'd be famous if I could sing, you know? Like, I would be famous. I'd be rich. I'd be rolling in the dough. I know it because I'd be so freaking confident if I could sing. And, you know, I've been watching American Idol, and it's just awesome because I love Carrie Underwood. She looks so beautiful. Like, I remember watching her when I was young, and now, like, I see her now, and, like, all her dreams have come true, and she's just so happy, and you can tell that she just wants these people to succeed. And, you know, I like all the positivity and the dynamics between the judges, and there's a lot of Christian songs, which I am just mind blown by that. It's very God's, like the Easter, how do you say, Easter episode was like very Jesus centered, and you'll see people like praying before they get on stage. And I was just thinking of this because I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but I was at the chiropractor, and, you know, I love this woman. Like, she has blessed my life because of her passion for chiropractic. Like, she has an office up here, you know, because of what she's done for me. She's helped my back, and I was going through a really hard time with it. You know, she was telling me all these things on, you know, like all the benefits of doing chiropractic work or having chiropractic work done. And, you know, I was like, doctor, you've like converted me. You know, I'm converted. You know, I believe. I'm a believer. And I wrote this really nice, like, comment review on her page, and she just you know, like that, and she just said, I just need to give you a hug. I just love you. And I just thought it was so funny. I was laughing about this little move that I did that made her laugh for like 2 hours after that. And Desiree's like, are you still laughing about that? And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, like, so I've been watching American Idol, and there's so much amazing talent, and these singers will get up there, and you can tell they're nervous. You can tell they're, like, you know, scared, and like feel a lot of pressure. You know, the things that they say, you know that they're nervous. They sometimes admit it. They doubt themselves and their ability to sing. And it just is mind-blowing to me. I'm like, dude, do you hear your voice? Girl, you blasted off the roof of this place. You know, like, everybody's cheering your name. You have Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, and Lionel Richie, like, just praising your name. And what an ego booster. You know what I mean? Like, just telling you that you're a superstar. And you're just like, I'm just so shocked that I made it to the next round. And how can you be shocked? You're amazing. You're so gifted and so talented. And it's just mind-blowing to me. And so I always skip around. So when I said, you know, that phrase to my trainee, right, where I was like, if I wish I could sing, and if I could sing, I would never shut up. I heard God speak to me in that moment. I've said that phrase 1,000 million times. Even Desiree's told me, like, since we've been together, I've probably told her that 500,000 times. Like, I just say it all the time. And the 500,000 times that I've told her or anyone else, I've never thought anything other than that. But after I said it this time, I had this thought, just this protruding thought that just, like, took me aback. It was just shocking to me. And it was like God told me, you do have a talent, just like those American Idolists, and you're not using it. You think it's insignificant. You don't think you're good enough. You don't think you're great enough. You're worried about what people will think. You know, this is the feeling that I had in that moment of, like, when I said that, I was just, like, taken aback, like, because I thought about my videos that I always, you know, will do for a second and then, you know, get scared or, you know, feel insecure and then not do them, or think, like, who's gonna watch these? Like, who even cares, you know? And it was just, you know, like, what gift do you think is insignificant or not special, or that you're not good at, or you're too scared to be good at, or you think you're scared what people to do it, or to go after it, that dream. I will never forget this. There was a carnival here in Morenci, and it was like a circus carnival. I don't know, like where there was lions and shows and tricks and stuff. And the ringmaster, like, I figured out was like the owner of this. Like, she was the one, putting it on. She was the one that paid these people to, do these performances in her show. And she was one of the performers. Like, she was the trapeze artist, okay? And I swear to God, like, she was swinging like this and over me and over all, like, everyone. Not over me, like, whatever. I'm not crushing on her. I just seen her. Her eyes were glowing with, like, sparkling with happiness and joy. Like, it was just exuding from her. And, like, it was so beautiful. And I just thought, wow, how lucky is she to be, like, this is her dream and she's living it, And, oh, it was so powerful. And I watched these American Idol contestants, or the people on Do You Think You Can Dance, like all these people chasing after their dreams, and how lucky are they? And I think about that, and I'm like, well, I could chase after my dreams, can't I, if I just have the courage to get on here and share my story. So I just encourage all of you, go after your dream. Do that thing that you've been putting off. In fact, when I was putting on, this is my 4th time, I think I told you, doing this video. I lost count, it was so many times. The last one that I did, the timer, it ended in 1141. I looked that shit up, an angel number, and it says, trust yourself and your inner promptings and begin that new venture or project period. Sorry. Your will and effort will bring out the desired results. And it says, be more proactive in pursuing your goals and dreams to succeed and become more satisfied in life. That's what I saw in that woman. She was fulfilled. She was happy, satisfied in life because she was chasing after her dreams. And the people on American Idol, you see that in them. And I think about, and it says, I'll finish, put your ideas or plans into action. What the hell? Like, God is so good to me. He's like, how many more breadcrumbs do I have to give you, dude, to, like, just go after it, So thick in the head. But yeah, that's my, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Every night before I put the kids to bed, if I pray, it's very rare, that I don't ask God to bless my kids, that all their dreams will come true. And I think it's because, deep down, I want that to happen for me. And I know that God can do that. Maybe I need to have more faith that He can do it for me. I have faith that He can do it for my kids, for sure, for anybody, but not myself. So I'm going to try to change that, like, how do we see ourselves when we look in the mirror? Do we see the person that God put on this earth to be? Like, when those singers look in the mirror, do they see a great singer? I don't know. They don't act like it sometimes. Now, like, later in the season, now they're gaining their confidence and shit. But finally, right? Or, like, they're still nervous. They actually, no, this episode that I was just watching, this last episode, they were all so nervous. They all said it. And so stop being nervous, right? And let me think, what else was I gonna include in this? I think that's it. Good. Yeah. So my message today is to go after your dreams. Tell people what your dream is. And maybe, I always, like, there's some people that say, don't tell people your dream. They're just going to shut it down. But you know what? This is what I know is right for me. I know I have to put this out there. I know people have to know this about me. And just to be vulnerable, just so you know a little bit about me, and and something that I've always dreamed about. And I just hope that you guys, gain courage from this video and you do the same thing. And that my kids, when they watch this video one day, that they'll say, hey, Dad was brave enough to go after his dreams, and maybe I want to be that example to them, right? I want them to see, like, hey, Dad did this, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna submit this video even though I'm scared. I'm gonna do this even though I'm scared. I'm gonna sing on this stage even though I'm scared. And I'm gonna believe in myself, and I'm not gonna be scared. Okay, one last story. I swear to God, this is gonna end it, because when I said believe in yourself, I remember Helaman was young. He's 9. He turned 9 today. I think this is the perfect story to, commemorate his 9th birthday today. Well, we celebrated it today. It's actually on the 28th. Today's the 26th. Yeah. But I wish I could remember how old he was. I want to say he was probably 5 or something around there, and maybe even little, because I just remember him being so little. But we were at this park, and he wanted to go down that fireman's pole, right? And I've seen fireman poles at parks. This one was like double the size. Like, I was looking up at him, and I couldn't even come close to reaching him. Okay, and I don't even think the kid knew it was that high when he was going up there, and I didn't know it was that high, because I was going to be at the bottom waiting for him. And I look up, and I was scared, and I just remember him getting up there on that ledge and looking down and seeing how high it was, and that fear, he was like a kid is so, like, innocent, and like I saw it all over his face. It almost broke my heart. But then he said, I believe in myself. And he just closed his eyes, grabbed the pole, and went down. It's like, it was like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never forgotten it. And Helaman, he always tries to overcome his fears and believe in himself. And he always tries to be better at everything he does. And he always tries to be better every single day. I just love that about him. But I just love that story. Believe in yourself, and go down that fireman's pole that looks so high, even though you're so scared, But anyways, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed it.